Welcome to Progressus Multi-Company New Functionality Overview. Today we will discuss just an overview of what the product and functionality is, as well as a feature list and steps to get started. Progressus Multi-Company is developed with collaboration with the Progressus team, as well as the binary stream team, to enhance both binary stream multi-company functionality as well as Progressus. And so that the combination of the two equals our Progressus multi-company app. We've seen many companies that have requested that the ability to transact between companies within their organization. And so it's very common with project-based companies to have resources that work across and work on projects across more than one company. And so this enhancement allows us to both meet the needs of existing customers, but new customers as well. So customers who are ideal and for this functionality are companies obviously who are project driven, and they are also using BC or planning to use BC, as well as they may be SL or GP customers, and they need to move off of those products at some point in time, but they're familiar and accustomed to having intercompany processing within one database. And so this functionality matches that type of functionality. So for example, you may have a project resource, and a specific company, and yet they need to charge project or time to multiple companies. So they may need to charge time to company A, B, C, D, or any combination, but not just time, also expenses. And so by leveraging Progressus Multi-Company, the user can enter time in or expenses in any of these companies and automatically have their intercompany do from transactions created. So like to spend some time on the feature list and what does it include. Primarily, MEM uses Global Dimension 1 or Global Dimension 2 as the ability to designate your company. And then that allows you to use one BC company, but use the global dimension to accommodate for the multi-company processing, which means that they share the same currency, our chart of accounts, customers, vendors, items, also projects and resources. So those are shared master records across all companies. The features that we've included with the Progressus Multi-Company is quite an extensive list. You can see we have master records and/or setup related to those master records. So that would include projects and resources have a company on them. And then also the setting up of the project and for purposes of using the project may include things like schedule billing, budgets, and the use of planning lines. We've incorporated the company field in all of those areas. And then as you transact entries for projects, then we also need the ability to track the company throughout as well. So that would include timesheet and expense reports, as well as approval of those timesheet and expense reports. And then also, once those downstream effect of all those transactions are that you'll get posting records to GL for your labor, your expenses, your budget entries, and your journals. You will get ledger transactions, expense reports. So all of these screens and fields have been added to leverage and use multi-company, including WIP, contract invoices, and our Progressus reports. And also the data from Progressus then flows into Business Central. And so that same company information is handed down to the Business Central as well for inventory, purchase documents, and all the sales documents as well. So now we have an end-to-end solution, and the company is passed along throughout the process. So what do you need to do to get started? What are the things that you need to keep in mind? Well, there are 4 apps required for this functionality to work. One obviously is Business Central. We also need to install binary stream MEM, Progressus, and then also multi-company progresses. So this shows the minimum versions for all those apps to be installed. And then the next step is to configure it. So what do you do to configure it? Well, first of all, you have to have your BC configured and available. And then you also need to configure binary streams. So setting up those global dimensions, defining the values for your companies within those global dimensions, defining the security for your MEM as well. And then the next step is just to configure Progressus. And configuring Progressus is the same as you normally would. The difference is that now there are MEM fields incorporated throughout all our tables and screens. So you'll see those and are able to assign companies as you transact. And then if you're already an existing BC or PGS user, you still can use MEM and Progressus Multi-Company. The MEM has an assigned entity functionality where you can populate existing transactions and data with a company field. And if your master records do not have an entity, then they won't show in various lists. So the example of the project, if it doesn't have an entity, you won't see it in a list because we need that entity to know how to transact for it. So this is the standard MEM assigned entity area. And you can see there are quite a few existing BC functionalities as well within here. And so they've just added Progressus on top of that. So you'll see within the menu, you can choose Progressus specific data. As we said, it is available and able to be downloaded at this time. And then we also have some information that you can research and look at. And so I encourage you to use these codes to download and look at that information and find out more. Thank you for watching today.